Hello crafty friends, Gloria Parra here, and today I'm super excited to be creating a new layout with the May Vintage Memories kit by the Hip Kit Club. And let me tell you, this kit is just stunning, friends. It's so elegant. I love the soft colors, the feminine look that it has, all the florals. You will just adore this kit. And I can't wait to dive in it with you. If you haven't seen, I have a video flipping through this entire kit on my YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out in detail, you can. I will link the video down below and you can check it out. So for today's layout, friends, I'll be working with one of the brand new sketches by Allison Davis. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I adore Allison's sketches. They are always so inspiring and fun to work with. And today's sketch is no exception. It's full of beautiful design possibilities. I love this hearts here, the stitches. I love, the long title down here. It is a fabulous design. But here's the twist, friends. Instead of following the sketch exactly as it's drawn, I want to share how you can alter this sketch to better fit your products, your vision, the theme of your layout, or the idea that you have. So the original sketch features a whole column at the left of hearts, of stitched hearts, but I thought it would be really fun to put my own spin on this sketch by swapping these hearts with these butterflies. The May kit included the possibility of purchasing a couple of beautiful dies, and for this layout I want to swap the hearts for the butterflies, and I think it's gonna look awesome. So come along with me as we adapt this sketch and layer in all the pretty details and create a beautiful butterfly filled layout together. So let's get started, friends. All right, friends, so for my background, I've chosen this beautiful periwinkle blue pattern paper that has that kind of newspaper feel on the background. This has to be one of my all-time favorite colors. Whenever I get this periwinkle blue, I have to use it. And I will be documenting a photo of myself and my personal style. This kit really has tons of words and elements that will help you tell your own story. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna use that one, and I love incorporating on my layouts this 6x8 papers that you get in the Pocket Live kit. I always get those because they work great to create my layers, to create my frames around photos, and for this occasion they will work awesome for our butterflies. So I've cut a couple of them on different patterns, but I just love that you get the 12x12 patterns that you would get on the regular paper kit, but you get them a little smaller in scale, and they work great for smaller things. And that way, friends, you can stretch those 12x12 patterns for your bigger layouts. So I will create a kind of thick frame here for my photo. I'm gonna have a 4x4 photo, just like the sketch calls. I will be using just a single photo, but of course you can replace it by 2 3x4s and just kind of tuck one behind the other to include more photos. But for this one, I will be using a 4x4, and I will create a little frame for it. So friends, if you are tempted to get this kit or to subscribe to the Hip Kit, I have a special code for you. It is Gloria, and it gives you a 10% extra discount on your next order. So go ahead and use that code, save a little, and get your hands on this beautiful kits that, I don't know how Kimberly does it, but they get better each month. So let's bring in our paper, and we will have our photo sent at the right of the paper. And now to cut our butterflies, I am using the papers that I told you, and I will be bringing in some vellum just to create, a couple of layers on top of this paper. I will bring in some vellum, and that will create a kind of translucent effect, and just keep adding to the layers that I love creating. So let's die cut. I want you to see how easy it is to use these dies. They are great quality, and they have stunning designs each month. Now friends, let's cut the vellum piece, and I just like to use a little piece of washi tape to hold my die. That's just my personal preference. You can use any kind of tape out there to hold your die. And I just like to give it like a couple of passes to make sure that all those intricate pieces are cut. Then let's reveal this beautiful butterfly. So there we go, and I'm gonna layer them up like this, and you see that beautiful texture that it brings, and you can see the pattern below and add the stitches right in the middle. All right, I have everything cut now, and my idea, friends, is to have a couple of butterflies. I'm trying to mix the patterns up. So if I have this like smaller pattern here, I will bring in the butterfly with the bigger pattern to the left. And then I'm gonna bring in this small pattern, and I had a big pattern here, yeah. Just trying to bring in that variety. So having them like going on a zigzag there. And I'm also bringing in from the ephemera pack all the butterflies that I could find that I hadn't used yet. We also get some butterflies in this vellum shaped sticker sheet. So I think I'm gonna back them in with some white cardstock and cut them to bring in more butterflies and put together this nice pattern. And I'm gonna layer this up, and we will be adding some machine stitching there and just having them all layered up. Now we can scatter these smaller ones here, and let's try to think on balancing the color. Since we have pink here, let's bring pink here and some pink up here, just to distribute color a little. That way we can have everything balanced out. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring in a piece of white cardstock from my scraps, and I will play with a couple of these butterflies here. So let's see what color could work. So we could have this and a couple of smaller ones. So let's try and see how they look. You have to be very careful not to rip them, and just fussy cut around your paper. So now I have a couple of vellum butterflies all backed up, and I think I like how this is working on the left. And I will just add a tiny bit of double-sided adhesive to the middle parts of the vellum butterflies. And then I will take my paper to my sewing machine. But for now, I want to hold them together and see how they work. I love the effect that the vellum is giving. What I don't like that much is that it takes away from the color. You know, you can you can kind of see the pattern paper on the back, but not that much, right? So I really want to fluff them up so you can be able to see the pattern behind. And these are the kinds of layouts, friends, that I love displaying in my craft room, that I love having there to brighten my day. And I take a while to put this kind of layouts in my albums because of course they will get flattened out. And the beautiful thing of these are to have them with lots of dimension, like if those butterflies were fluttering around. So now let's work on the right side, and for that I have a couple of elements that I've separated. My idea here is to use this as my title, and it reads Create Your Own Style, and I want to talk about because let's be honest, friends, us scrapbookers have like a very unique style. We love color, at least I do. I don't want to generalize everyone, but I think we love color, and we don't mind, you know, like combining our outfits to match our papers or our collections. So that's something I want to document about. And I love this little like figure here, and I want to tuck it behind my flowers. Just a very, very feminine layout that will talk all about my style and how scrapbooking has, you know, affected the way I love to dress. So yes, I used to be more of a neutral color girl. I loved earth tones, and that has changed dramatically, friends. I love dressing in bright colors, fun patterns. As you can see, maybe I have a t-shirt right now that's full of colors and fun embroidery. So yeah, I think it's something fun to talk and to read later. I'm not sure about this piece here. I'm really liking this, but not sure about that. So let's move things around until we have something that I am in love with. All right, I think I'm liking how this is going. I added a little floral piece here and to balance things out a little with the big floral on the right. I also brought in this beautiful like hanging clock, and I love this. I really like how it's looking, so I will start adding a tiny bit of adhesive to my butterflies. That way I can take everything to my sewing machine and adhere and stitch through those butterflies to have them well adhered. And friends, if you're enjoying these videos, don't forget to like, to subscribe. Especially don't forget to subscribe because that helps the channel grow, and that way you don't miss any of the content that's coming your way. And don't forget to check out HipKit. They have wonderful, wonderful exclusive kits each month. You won't find these products anywhere else, so make sure to check them out. And don't forget that discount code that you can use to save 10% extra. If you subscribe, you get free shipping on all add-ons. You get a special pricing for your kit and just tons of inspiration. I also want to mention that the HipKit has a new feature, and it is that you get access to the school platform where you will get tons of extra inspiration. You will get a very fun and supportive community of scrapbookers and just lots of fun perks if you join us today. Okay friends, I'm back and I've stitched all my butterflies. I love how they are just full of texture and they seem like they're flying all around my page. So we can now move on to the embellishing. So for my photo, I decided to add one of the cardstock papers, and I love this kind of purple tone paper, and I just added a thin border around my photo and my frame here. So I also added at the bottom this little like ripped tag from the ephemera pack. And now I'm gonna bring in this floral piece and my title and the little dress here, or dress form, and create my layers. And for that, friends, you know that I love using my foam adhesive in all the different sizes. So let's play with that and finish this little clusters here to move on with the layout. So I'm going to start adhering my dress form, and for this I'm using a 1mm thick foam adhesive, and I will just layer it on top of my photo there. And I want to have this floral coming on top of my dress. I want my dress to be on the back layer. So I'm going to add a little foam adhesive down here where I can have that without being on top of the dress form. So there we go. And let's commit to it so we can adhere our title. You don't want to cover anything important from the photo, so move it around until you find a placement that you like. So here we will create a little layer of embellishments, and to balance it out, I've decided to put it right on the left of my photos. And we can tuck this, it's all about the details, right above that nice like scallop circle. And there we go. And I love how it brings that green up here. And I was thinking of adding this little clock up there, just to bring, something green and a little detail up there. And for that, I'm gonna pop it up as well. And I've had an idea of a little embellishing, something extra that's not in the sketch, but I think it's gonna add a fun touch, and I always like adding little words. So let me adhere this and show you the idea that I had. So yes, we want it coming from the top, from the border here. I also was thinking of adding this floral piece. I would have to cut it a little or tuck it behind this layer, just to bring in a little color there. I don't know what you think. If it's too much, I think it distracts a little from the butterflies. But here's the other idea that I had. I have this little strips of fun words and sayings like remember this, treasures, simply the best, love your company. And I think they work because as years goes by, you learn to love being with yourself. So I thought that was really appropriate, and I want to talk a little about that in my journaling. And you are absolutely made for this, so I think you can totally make them work here. So I want to add some of this below my butterflies. So I would have simply the best here. You are absolutely made for this. Love your company. Remember this. So you want to think of the colors you are using to balance things out. Okay, so I have yellow here, here, and here. So that creates like a visual triangle, as well as the pinks and the other colors. So yeah, I don't know what you think about that. I like how it adds that little touch. Maybe I can cut this a little shorter and it will look better. And yeah, let me adhere that, and we will finish this layout with some journaling strips here or a little bit of journaling down here. Okay, I've gone ahead and added my journaling down here, just printed my text and cut the little journaling strips and adhered them with some foam adhesive. And this layout is almost ready. I just want to finish it with a couple of puffy stickers or foam stickers to bring in that different texture and finish. And I think we're done, friends. I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I will make sure to add those still shots at the end. And let me know what you think if you're gonna give this layout a try. And don't forget to check the hip kit out and to use that special discount code Gloria for an extra 10% discount. So thank you, friends, for stopping by. This was Gloria Parra for Hip Kit Club. Until the next time, bye-bye.